And you can see from the brine, you can see all that juice still coming out of there. So juicy, so delicious. The sauce makes it. This is better than your mum's roast chicken. So the reason it's so plump and juicy and perfectly seasoned every time is because we brine it. So we're going to make up a little 6% brine. We've got our chicken here. And this pot actually works really well. I'm going to leave the whole chicken in there, pop the whole thing in the fridge overnight, and tomorrow it's going to be perfect. So we're going to start off with a litre of water and 150 grams of table salt. Now I know what you're saying, that's not 6%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that to the boil, and I'm going to add 1.5 litres of cold water so that then I can put the chicken into it and it's not going to seize up and start cooking. So while that's coming to the boil, we may as well throw our thyme in there and get our lemon ready. You don't need to super boil this, you just need to dissolve your salt. So that's good to go now. We're going to turn it off, pour in the rest of our water and lemon juice and thyme, open up our chicken. I like to put it breast side down because that's where most of the meat is. Lid goes on and into the fridge overnight. All right, so here's our chicken. It's had its little bath overnight, and so we're going to pull it out, and you sort of want to leave as much brine in there as possible. You want it to, we're going to dry it off once we've got it all set for its roast. Pop that in your tray, take your lemons, and you sort of just shove them in the cavity. All of that thyme and stuff can go in there as well. And then you just want to grab some paper towels, and you just want to pad off any excess brine or anything like that. You can really see at this point the chicken's firmed up. 120 grams of butter, so you want to make a space in between gently, as far as you can go down. Just be careful not to split the skin. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to create some area for all that butter to go in. And then when it cooks, the butter's going to sit between the chicken and the skin. It's going to help the skin get nice and crispy and the chicken stay nice and moist and delicious. So then you take your butter and you can sort of push from the top to get it right into those air pockets. Do make sure you do get it right to the top. This is going to help us form the sauce later as well, so don't be shy. It looks like a lot, but chicken's quite lean, so it can take a bit of fat. Push it right up to the top and right into those legs. So next we want to make sure that the back is all nice and sewn together, so all of that butter and juices stay inside. So we're going to start at the top, and we're going to pinch the skin together. We're going to take our skewer and pop it through. You just want to get as many zigzags as you can all the way down and straight into the tailbone like that, just to hold it all together. Same thing with the top of the neck. Then you can take your kitchen shears and just trim your skewers down. And we're going to take the rest of that butter, pop it straight on top, and just give it a little bit of a massage, just so that all the skin gets some on it. Sweet. No salt. It's already been seasoned by the brine, so it doesn't need any extra seasoning after that. This chicken should be perfect at the end. Sweet. Into the oven. All right, it's been in for a couple of hours now. Let's see where we're at. Looks beautiful and pale and anemic, everything you want from a roast chicken. No, I'm only joking. This first cook is to make sure we get it all nice and juicy and cooked right through. It's kind of like a slow, gentle process. We are going to rest this for 45 minutes, and then we're going to cover it in butter and give it another roast. So we want to make sure that internally we're above 75. Perfect, 76.1. So we're going to rest this for 45 minutes and we're good to go. Let's get some more butter on this chicken and let's get it in the oven and get it crispy and delicious. So we're going to take a little bit of butter, pop it in a pot and crank it up to high. We're going to use this for our gravy as well. So all the leftover butter will end up in the sauce. Handful of thyme. We've melted that down with the thyme, so we're just going to give our chicken one last little baste. Make sure you get all of the skin so that it all crisps up nice and evenly. And you can pull that thyme out and tuck it maybe just in there. We don't want to interrupt the crisp, but we do want to make sure we're getting the flavour into the bird, so we'll just tuck it down by the wing there. She'll be right. Awesome. We'll get this in the oven until it's all nice and golden brown. So now we want to make up a little gravy. It's not going to be your traditional really dark brown roasted gravy because the chicken's not been cooked so aggressively and you don't get that caramelization. We should get that flavor from the skin. So what we're going to try and make is a really nice, beautiful and subtle white wine and tarragon sauce. So we've got some dry white wine. We've got some tarragon. Tarragon can be tricky to find, so if you need to, you can just use some parsley or some thyme and make sure you chop it up and add it right at the end as well. Tarragon's best, but that's fine. We've got the rest of our butter here and we've just taken it to a really light burn noisette. And we're going to take our shallot. If you don't have shallot, you can use onion or red onion. And we just want to do a nice little dice on this. So we're going to cut just like you would an onion, top to tail, and straight down. Cook that out nice and slowly over a low heat. And then we're going to add equal parts to the amount of butter left, flour, and we're going to cook that down to a nice roux. So now all the flour's cooked out, we can start adding the rest of our ingredients. we're going to start off with a healthy glug of Dijon mustard and a splash of white wine. And then we can add our chicken stock, and then you want to do a heavy-handed crack of fresh pepper. We're going to cook that gently for 10 to 15 minutes so it thickens, and then we're going to add the tarragon. Awesome, the chicken's almost done. I've just smoked my eyes out. It's sitting in a hot oven getting all nice and crispy. Our gravy's all beautiful and delicious. We're just going to cut some tarragon and get that in there now. And just ball it up. It's going to cook straight into the sauce, so we want a bit of a rough cut straight in. And you can turn your sauce off. Chicken's ready. So that's what we're going for. We've got this beautiful crispy skin, beautiful and golden all the way over. We've got all of these delicious juices and stuff in the bottom that we're going to drop into our sauce. But we're going to let that rest for 5-10 minutes. It's already had its long rest, so it doesn't need too long. And then we're going to plate it up. I like to carve it at the table. So before I plate it up, I'm going to pull out those skewers we put in earlier. So it can be a little bit tricky. You just sort of run your knife down each side of it, and it should come straight away. Same with this one. And all of that sort of neck skin's not very nice anyway, so you can pull off that whole bit. Pop it into your serving tray. Knife and fork so we can carve at the table. All of this yum stuff into our sauce. Stir that through. Wish we had a bigger sauce boat. We are going to need to refill this for each person. Go hard on the sauce. Now let's see how juicy this is. This is the best roast chicken you can make. Look at that. Look how moist and delicious. All that juice running through there. Let's get some sauce on it. And you can see from the brine, you can see all that juice still coming out of there, that beautiful nice from the breasts, which is normally the dry bit. So juicy, so delicious, the sauce makes it. This is better than your mum's roast chicken.